Welcome to this week's version of Offsides, a little excuse the disturbance. I'm here with Eddie Murphy, and let's just jump right into it. Ed, World Series is tied 1 game apiece. Cardinals managed to squeak one out last night, couple errors by Craig Breslow and Jared Saltalamacchia. Ed, was this win for the Cardinals a turning point in the World Series?
I think Game 3 is the one that really decides this. But obviously, you go down in Fenway, you steal a game, you got to be pretty confident in your team. We always knew the Cardinals pitching was going to be good.
Well, of course, yeah.
I think the next matchup, the PV Kelly matchup, there's no real winner here. Obviously, the Red Sox playing demons like that, not going to get it done. So going back to Busch Stadium, I mean, the Cardinals right now, I think, do have the momentum. But however, Game 3 will decide it. If the Red Sox go steal one there, I trust them like that stat. Was it 24 less 25 first game winners?
Yeah, but even if they do steal one, it's 3-2 Cardinals. And all you have to do is win one game with your 2 horses on the mound. Walker's been brilliant, and Wainwright had a little bit of a clunker, but you know what? It's Adam Wainwright, so it doesn't really matter at this point.
The stats thing, I'm a big believer in those stats. Like 24 last 25, if they win Game 1, you're going to go on to win the World Series. I'm going to stick with history. That's just my take on that. So, Nick, the Yankees this year, no playoffs. People thought they're going to blow it up and get rid of a lot of players, and free agents going to leave. Now, reports are coming out they want to start signing, players to upwards of $300 million. What's your take on that?
Well, you got guys like Tanaka that are Japanese studs, but you never really know what you're going to get from these Asian players who go and pitch on the smaller mounds, closer distance. But guys like Beltran, guys like McCann are risks, whether you want to look at it that way or not. Beltran could be a good 2-year quick fix, but McCann's injury prone.
My problem with that, Tanaka, great stats. It was like 24-0, ERA, and like the 1s.
But that's ridiculous. Those are Japan numbers.
Right. And
you're not going to get that in America.
McCann, I mean, we do need a cat. We have guys in the minors right now. The Yankees have guys in the minors. There's no one right now who's getting the job done. McCann, if he stays healthy, plays 100 games, you got to like that. Beltran, I want him, if you're a Yankee fan, you want him to play for a year or two. Well, the guy's the
best postseason player of all time.
Right, but he's not going to take a 2-year deal. He's going to want, the 5-6 range. He's going to spend upwards of, $150 million? Plus Cano. You got to bring out Cano. Cano's going to want, between $100 and $200 million. So that's it's a pretty penny, but I think the Yankees they're going to do it, and I think they're going to they want to come back to the AL East title.
The prize is Cano, but at that point you got to figure out the situation accordingly. Ed, next topic, Brett Favre. We've seen the St. Louis Rams lose Sam Bradford to the ACL. They're calling this guy. What do you make of this? Is it just because the NFL is weak on quarterbacks? Can Brett Favre really be a fix for the St. Louis Rams?
Well, I'm shocked. I'm completely shocked. Brett Favre is 44 years old, hasn't played since 2010. There's plenty of guys out there. There's how many first-round picks?
I think it's 5.
5 first-round picks are all free agents now. Other guys out there, too. I know the Rams did sign Brady Quinn, who was released by the Jets. I think in this situation, this is the first time Brett Favre's made the right decision by saying no. So Jeff Fisher and the Rams, not sure what they were thinking. Your season's basically a lost cause. There's 2 teams ahead of you. The Rams and the 49ers and the Seahawks. They're not going to catch them. Just you stick with Kellen Clemens, stick with Brady Quinn, develop your young players, and then next season, go for it again.
You're not making the playoffs
Exactly.
anyway. So at this point, you need to just let it ride out. Let Brady Quinn lose you the 5 or 6 games, or let Kellen Clemens lose you those games, and then figure out your situation next year when Bradford comes back. You get a higher pick in the draft. But like you said, Brett Favre, what are you doing?
No, I don't buy. You can't play. He said no. He's the smart one. I don't know what the Rams are doing, but that's the first time Brett Favre in a long time has made the smart move. All right, Nick. So everyone watched last Sunday night the whole Peyton Love Fest, the Colts versus the Broncos. During the game, Reggie Wayne lost, but the Colts ended up winning. What do you think is the bigger story here?
Well, obviously the bigger story's got to be Reggie Wayne because his team's making the playoffs. And you know what? A win is one win. All it counts is it makes you go from 5 to 6. Doesn't make you go from 5 to the Super Bowl. It doesn't give you a ring. But that guy, Reggie Wayne, could give you a ring. That's the key thing right here for me.
See, I don't know about that. I think everyone coming to this game and they saw like the whole the crowd standing for Peyton and the guy the one that's off to the side was Andrew Luck.
Yeah, but he's your blanket. Reggie Wayne's your blanket.
I believe in Luck, and Luck is making guys better. He's using the tight ends now. He has Dwayne Allen. He's close with Kobe Fleener from Stanford. He has guys like Darius Hayward-Bay who's stepping up, a lot of speed. T.Y. Hilton. I think with the running game now with T-Rich there, I think obviously Reggie Wayne. We're not denying
he's the guy.
He is the guy, and I'm not saying that it's a good thing. But when you beat a team like the Broncos, you're undefeated. That gives you momentum. It gives you a spark the rest of the way. I think they're going to run through the AFC South, and I think they're right now. I mean, they might be able to contend with the Broncos for the best team in the AFC.
All right, Ed. Another surprising team. My Chiefs, your Chiefs, the 8 Pro Bowlers, the 15 Pro Bowlers. How long is this team staying undefeated?
Yeah, we were just talking about best teams in the AFC, and I said the Colts challenged the Broncos, but I totally forgot about the Chiefs.
Yeah.
The Chiefs right now, they haven't really been tested that much. They have a good win against Dallas. They have a good win against Tennessee. It's been tough. The big matchups are obviously coming up. They're divisional matchups with 2 against San Diego, 2 against Denver, and they do have the Colts later on in the year. Those games are going to tell a lot. But say even if they lose all those games, what are those?
12-4.
Yeah, 12-4. You're a playoff team. A good all-around team. Alex Smith proven that he can get it done. He manages the game. He gets it done. They're not going to go undefeated. Let's be honest
Alex
here,
Smith's my boy, though.
Yeah.
Alex Smith's my boy. I preach Alex Smith. If I had a football team, I'm taking Alex Smith.
Doesn't make mistakes.
That's all you want. Yeah. And you rely on that defense, and the numbers don't lie. Look how many times they get to the quarterback. And even if they do lose half those games, let's just call it half.
Right.
They're 14-2, even 12-4. That's top 2 in the AFC.
Hey, when you have a defense like that and one of the best running backs in the league, that's a recipe for success. No surprise, Tom Brady's been struggling this year. Do you blame it more on him and his downward decline in his career, or do you think maybe it's the result of the team not being as good as they usually are?
It's a little bit of both, Ed, obviously. Tom Brady has not been good. When guys like Geno Smith have a better completion percentage than you do, that's an issue. When you throw for, the 29th fewest, 29th completion percentage in the league?
Yeah, it's low. His numbers, everyone's yelling about Eli Manning. Eli Manning's numbers across the board
are better than Brady's.
Better than his.
So when you have those numbers, and then the rookie receivers, all they do is drop balls. It's like they got holes in their hands. So what are you going to do? It's a little bit of both here. Then you lose your guys like Will Fork, you lose Gerard Mayo. It's a little bit of a combination of errors.
There's more pressure on him. I totally agree with you. It's more pressure on him, but he is getting older. That's what happens. You just naturally decline. That's just life. But Tom Brady, he's done it in the past. I think he gets a bit of a free ride here.
Well, especially here.
Because everyone's used to him doing it. He has 3 Super Bowl rings. Let's give the guy credit. His yards per attempt is scary though because it's 30th in the NFL, which also proves the fact that its receivers are just screwing up. Yeah, there's no one to rely on. With Gronk back, I think a little bit better.
All right, switching gears a little bit. College football time, Ed. Alabama's number 1 in the first BCS ranking. You got Florida State, Oregon right behind them, though. But is Alabama the number 1 team we've seen them be for the past, 2-3 years now?
Well, Alabama's won 2 straight national championships, and this is the first year they're not. I can't deny what Saban's done down there, but I got to go with Oregon. Fine, they're gonna, they lost to Auburn a couple years ago. Now the one thing they never had was defense. 12th in points against. I know Alabama's first, but their offense cannot be stopped. Marcus Mariota, Heisman candidate, is thrown for over 2,000 yards in 7 games. They're averaging near 60 points a game. That's just way too high. That's too fast paced
for any defense.
Yeah.
Forget
even the SEC speed.
Right. But I'm going to go famous Jameis. And who doesn't like Flash? Who doesn't like Florida State? And obviously not me because I love Jameis Winston. He's in there. He's like Cam Newton, ready to roll. He's got a rocket ship for an arm.
He's a big-time player.
Dude could move like no one else. And Florida State deserves that 2nd seed. I really think they do.
Big win over Clemson. So
and then that Clemson win is what I think pushed them over. You beat a team like Clemson. That's pretty much guaranteeing yourself a spot in a big-time bowl game,
right.
Declaring yourself as an elite team.
Right. I do want to see Oregon get tested more. UCLA and Stanford coming up; those are big games for them. If they win those, I can't deny they might be the best team in the nation. All right, Nick, you're a guy. Kobe Bryant, the Black Mamba, ranked 25th in the ESPN's top 100 NBA players. I know you definitely have a lot of thoughts on this, so let's hear it.
Here's the thing, Ed. Al Horford, Deron Williams. The list just goes on and on for me. I don't care who it is. I'm going to take Kobe over Paul George. I'm going to take Kobe over Russell Westbrook. I'm going to take Kobe over James Harden. I'm going to take Kobe over every single player in the league but LeBron James.
So so you have Kobe 2?
If I had it, yes, Kobe Bryant is number 2.
All right.
When you win rings, you come talk to me, bro.
I'm
Mamba, Vino, that's what it's all about.
I'm not putting Kobe at 2, but I'm also not putting him at 25. He's somewhere in between there. I'd say he's closer to 10 than he is 20. I think the reason why he's dropping is because so many players, the whole saga with Dwight, when him coming in there and then leaving.
That's Dwight's fault.
I think it's proven that Kobe's hard to work with. The same thing with him and Shaq wasn't a pretty ending there either.
Of course not.
But like you said, can't deny his rings, can't deny his scoring ability. Still had 26 points last year with 6 rebounds and 5 assists. Overall, as a player, he's great.
Right.
But he's getting up there in age, and eventually he's declining. Again, 25 is ridiculous. I think 2 is pretty ridiculous, too.
Let's leave it at this. Count on Mamba, count on Vino. All right, Ed, sticking with NBA. The playoff system for the finals now changed from 2-3-2 to 2-2-1-1-1.
About time.
Does this system work better?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. you know, if the lower seed team, you know, they steal a game versus the higher seed team.
And then you close out in 5.
You can close out in 5. You have 3 straight, you know, it's unfair advantage. Yeah, I understand, like, you know, you're going to be on the road. Now. Like, the traveling could be an issue, the 1-1-1, if it gets there. But at the same time, also, it doesn't even matter because the Heat are winning this no matter what.
And you're playing sports, bro. You got days off. You're doing what you love. What does it matter if you got to play 1-1-1 travel?
Right.
We got to wake up at 6:30 and come to work.
No, I like they're putting more on a level playing field. I think it gives the team both fair advantage, even though, like I said, I think the NBA is pretty lopsided right now. I think, you know, the Heat would win if they played all 7 games on the road.
I don't think it matters. I'm going to say Pacers come out of the East.
Oh.
And we're going to talk about this in the spring later.
All right, last topic of the show. Game this week, Buffalo Sabres played the Boston Bruins, and Goon, John Scott, crushed Louis Eriksson in the head with in the neutral zone hit. I have plenty of things to say about this. Nick, what do you have?
All right, Ed, come here. Let me hit you right in the elbow, right there, right in the head. No, absolutely not. There's no place in hockey for this. What are you just gonna start elbowing guys, giving concussions left and right? This is ridiculous. Suspend him for the whole entire time. As long as Louis Eriksson misses a game, John Scott should miss every game.
I don't think John Scott should be allowed in the league, period. There's no room for players like him. You see Matt Cook do it in the past. His one role is to fight and to fight and to hurt people.
He has no hockey skill. No. Where is it?
No. And you're hurting one of the Bruins' best players, a guy they just got in the offseason who's there to help the team, and now he's going to be out indefinitely with a concussion. First of all, concussions.
Go play offensive line.
Concussions are the scariest injuries in all sports right now. I think that's obviously we agree on that.
Yeah.
And you know, he's intentionally doing it. He's a huge guy. Louis Eriksson, not nearly as big as him. You know, coming at him like that, it's a scary thing. You want to have everyone, you know, you're opposing teams, but you're all in the same league together. You're all brothers in a sense.
Where's the fraternal aspect of the game?
Right.
You just going out here and just start flinging bows, and it's just terrible for everyone. It's terrible for the league. Gives you such a black eye. And does anyone really want to hear from Shanahan at this point?
Oh, I'm with you on that.
That's all for this week's segment of Excuse the Disturbance. For Offsides, I'm Nick Picked. That's Eddie Murphy. Good night, everyone.